on how Cass are going. I mean, this is another big win for them where they piled on the points at the end of the game again, kind of similar to what they did the weekend before against Huddersfield. Do you think we just talked to Langers about Wigan hitting form at the right time. Do you think this is a reflection that Cass are kind of back to that attacking prowess with Gale back in the side, pulling the strings as well as they had last year?
Yeah, I mean, it does look
Should I be scared, basically?
It does look good for Castleford. You know, you can't argue with scoring that many points at this time in the season. I think the advantage you've got as a Wigan fan is that, you know, you have won something recently.
And the ref.
But yeah, I mean, it sets it up for an interesting top four, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, definitely Luke Gale is easing his way back in, but he started to have, with a lot of the tries coming down his side again, he's starting to have a bit more of an influence. What impresses me about Cass at the moment is even when he's not influencing the game, the other halfback is, which, you know, you went through most of the season at Cass with no one really pulling the strings other than Paul McShane, and he's still doing that. I think he had 2 try assists in this one, but you've got halfbacks back, and that works well for the attack. It's maybe whether the other side of things will be lost a little bit from that. Rob, did you have anything else you wanted to say about this game other than your match review?
Well, they're looking pretty good, aren't they, Cass, now, since they've got a full-back, and since Luke Gale's come back into the team, and then that's the same time that Eden's come back from injury. I'm quietly confident that we're going to turn Wigan over. I think it'll be a full away end.
Yeah, hope so.
Wigan don't make a lot of noise at home.
No, we don't.
Times.
You're right. Correct.
So I don't think home advantage means that much.
But they're used to playing in the silence. That's what the home advantage is.
And also, we're used to like walking out of a dressing room where you've got working showers and actual seats to sit on, and
toilets,
like cubicles rather than just pegs and stuff. Yeah,
but there's no Wi-Fi. There's no 4G at that ground.
No distractions. That's what it's there for.
I just think it's coming together, and Cass, same as against Hull and the same as against Huddersfield, we didn't really need to get out of second gear at all, and we still managed to rack up 40 points. And I think that's the 4th game on the bounce we've conceded less than 12 points as well, which is sort of going unnoticed.
Yeah. Who did Sky give man of the match to in this one? The papers have got it going to Luke Gale, but I'd have thought
they give it to Eden.
Well, not Sky, the fans.
The fans give it to Eden. I think the sponsors give it to Eden as well. And
if you score 4 tries, you normally get the sponsors man of the match, don't you?
Normally, yeah. His third try was a real good one where he burst through the middle. He
came across the middle and scored under the 6. Yeah, good try.
The Wakefield didn't look too bad.
No, I feel like the scoreline is a little bit unfair on them in a way, because they did a lot of good stuff, and there's still some of the good performance, still a good stuff. And that the main talking point from their point of view was that kickoff. From the kickoff,
I say Brian's right. Yeah, they did a short kickoff right at the very beginning. I think they did a couple of short dropouts as well.
Yeah.
But every time they did that, we scored.
And of course, Bill Tupu scored another try. He's nailed on for the dream team. Surely, does he still look good even in this Wakey side? That kind of, I think he does.
I think the other centre is it Arona?
Reece Lynn's the other centre. He scored the second try where he reached out and just got it on down on the line.
He also caught Greg Eden as well, and he took about 10 yards out of him at one stage.
Reece Lynn, when he played at Hull, he was regarded as one of the fastest players in the league, so it doesn't surprise me.
But all in all, I think
all he was at Hull was fast. He hadn't learned how to catch or tackle.
He couldn't tackle anything. No.
Are you amazed to see him playing in the centres and playing so well? I think he's unfortunate that Bill Tupu's just done a little bit more to actually help his side win games in terms of tries and assists than Reece Lynn has this year. But Reece Lynn's been, I'd say, 3rd best centre in the league maybe this year, behind him and Percival. Maybe throw Goodwin into that conversation.
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't tackle. That was the biggest problem. He couldn't catch the ball, which was also a problem. But he was fast. But being fast on its own is no use, is it? Because if you haven't got the ball in your hand because you can't catch it, or you can't tackle someone, it's no use being fast.
No, but it's really turned.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, him and Miller as well have just come on so well under Chester, haven't they?
They have, yeah. Right, okay. I I must admit, I didn't really watch this whole of this game. You were worried about a Liam Watts tackle that might get him on spot and report. Has anyone checked the the disciplinary whilst we've been chatting?
He didn't just hit him. He gave a penalty away for an high tackle, and
he's a dirty son, says Liam Watts.
On the big screen, it looked like it might be worthy of a ban, but I've not heard anything.
He hasn't been pulled up.
No,
Oliver Partington has Chase Stanley, Brad Singleton, and then a load of under-19s players.
So just one other thing was it were Webster's last home game. Jake Webster after 5 years, and they did everything they could to try and get him to score in that last 5 or 10 minutes, which is probably what kept the score down a little bit. And then some of the players did a hacker for him right at the very end after the Sky cams had switched off, which was really good. So I'm glad we gave him a good good send off, and I think Bradford's got a really good sign in there.
Yeah, totally agree with that. Yeah,
you couldn't wait for that story to come around when you were last on the show. Right, stats then. Visiting Wakefield were under 1,000 metres and under 90% team tackle success rate, so lost as you would expect. Cass made over 300 more metres and made 10 more breaks. Had they not made 3 more errors, it could have got even more out of hand. Individually, Greg Eden 4 tries, 130 metres, 4 clean breaks. Greg Minikin 1 try, 110 metres, 2 clean breaks. Paul McShane 2 tries, assists, 43 tackles, so both ways from Macca again there. Peter Matausia 1 try, assist, 9 tackle balls, 115 metres. He's made a huge difference to Cass.
Just going back to Paul McShane, actually, when Cass played Hull, I was really impressed with him because he was the one that was tracking back, actually making some of the tackles. I didn't realise that he was quite as fast as he is.
No, it's so short as well.
Slouch, yeah. You know, I mean, obviously, as Rich has said, you've got Danny Houghton, who is the pinnacle of all hookers, but McShane, I don't think is far out of the Ruby category.
I thought you two were sensible until tonight.
McShane's loan period at Hull early in his career, that's what
shaped him.
That's what shaped him.
For the losing Wakefield side, Bill Supu playing on the wing again this week. 1 try, 5 tackle balls, 121 metres, and Tinarau Arona 125 metres. On to Saturday then, game of day this week. Well, until Saturday we had 2, didn't we? Why did I say that? Anyway, Langers. Warrington versus St Helens was on TV at 3:15 on Saturday afternoon. 10,747 still turned up to watch it. Chris Kendall was the referee. St Helens ran out winners in the end, 34 points to 14. It was a bit closer at half time, 14 points to 6. Do you want to give us the first of the fan reviews?
Yep, Carston again. A heated first 15 minutes of the game, and the Saints took over after the sin bin galore. I hope the Wire will be better in the semi-final, or it will be a very one-sided game. Oh, and Ben Barber can still score.
I know, that's annoying, isn't it? Lee Whitnell said, the first 30 minutes of this game felt like a real contest with plenty of bite. Both teams were making errors, but making metres too. I felt like we'd earned our lead when it came, but when Brown went off to join Roberts, we lost our way. The second half was really just an opposed training run for Saints. The way that they were allowed to dance through tackles was pretty shameful, really. Hopefully we'll see better in the semi.
St David had to watch this one on Sky. Neither side took this one lightly, with good intensity and some biff. Wire obviously missed their halves, but Saints looked close to their early season form, with Barber much improved. Lomax again brilliant, great win, onwards.
There's 2 real takeaways from this game for me, actually, and that is the fight / multi-cod situation, and the annoying fact that Ben Barber's back. We've been missing him for 2. Well, the league's been missing him. I've not for 2 months.
Me neither.
And now he's back.
Yeah,
do you think he's back, or do you think it was a one-off?
No, I kind of think he's one. I mean, especially his second try when he just kind of danced through under the posts. That was a kind of, you would have expected him to be at least one of them, to kind of lay a hand on him and take him down. But yeah, it was good. It was a good game. Enjoyed kind of Chris Hill and John Wilkin continually having a go at each other and kind of pointing fingers and having a bit of a dig, and each one claiming the other one's grubbier than the other one. The biff was just old school. Everybody piles in.
Do you think? Let's go through that actually, because Matty Lees' yellow card caused a lot of debate at the time when it happened, and I'm in the camp that thinks it was a little bit harsh, but if we hadn't seen Matty Lees recklessly attack people as they were falling to the ground before, he might have got some benefit of the doubt. But I do think this was a little bit harsh. I don't think he was trying in any way, shape or form to hurt Roberts.
No, he wasn't, but it was. I mean, I watching it, I thought it was reckless. I mean, Roberts was going down, and kind of all Lees had to do was really kind of stand there and just kind of put his hands on him. But he kind of dove in.
He just kept doing it full pelt, really.
Yeah, and he almost kind of, it looked like he almost tried to pull out of it, but in trying to pull out of it, he kind of left his legs dragging, and that just smacked Roberts on the head. And
I mean, it did knock him out for the game. It was a factor in making sure that Warrington's attack then stuttered throughout Kevin Brown going off before half time as well, and then the two others went off for fighting, Ryan Atkins and Mark Percival. That made me happy. What made me even happier is that the episode 200 of SLP came, and we've got to talk about one of the famous tropes of the entire run of this show, which is Ryan Atkins' bullshit celebrations when he hasn't scored a try.
I think he's probably a listener, and
before you throw it in for us.
Yeah, he tries to work in. Like Barrie Mc will chuck a strap yourselves in, kids. Ryan Atkins will just try that was nowhere near, and I know it wasn't, but I'm going to get up like it was anyway.
They didn't even give it us a 20-metre restart, which it would have been if he'd have even touched it. So he must know that he never touched the ball, because it was giving us a goal line drop. It's just ridiculous, the amount of tries he's tried to claim. I think he's claimed more tries than he's scored during the time that Super League has been in your ears. They were my main takeaways from this one. I think that it was worrying from a Wigan fan, probably, I don't know, Rob, from a Cast fan point of view as well, that Saints actually looked like they got the shit together.
Yeah, especially with Barber. I was sort of winding St David up a little bit, saying he's gone and they're a one-man team, which they're clearly not. But that's the last thing you need, isn't it? Barber coming back into form now. Let's hope it's just a one-off.
Yeah, I personally think he's going to be up and down. I probably guarantee he'll maybe have a stormer in the semi and then be abysmal in the final
against Cass.
Yeah.
No, for the record, Langers pointed at me when he said the final. Okay, I suppose some of the tries scored in this game were pretty decent, and the one that's going to get the most focus will be Bryson's Goodwin's right at the very end, which I didn't even see live because I've kind of stopped watching and started doing stuff around the house, but I've seen the clips back since, and barely it brushed a bit of grass before it brushed a bit of grass with paint on it, but it's up there in the spectacular stakes, isn't it?
It was. I mean, that was kind of... I honestly don't know now whether some of the players are just... It's just something they practice, and we're just going to leap ourselves. You see it in rugby union now. They're doing it in rugby union, to taking a flyer outside and then reaching over and putting the ball down. I mean, that was one thing I haven't actually looked up, but in terms of the ball touching the line, is that not make it dead in goal?
Yeah.
So it shouldn't have been. Because I was thinking that shouldn't have been a try. But
if it must have gone up try, Alex had switched. Kind of like wasn't focusing too much. I was making tea, I think. But if it gone up as try, then what they'll have said is it's impossible to say it didn't touch a bit of the grass on the inside of the line before it touched the line. But to me, it looked simultaneous, and simultaneous is out in that regard. So I agree, but it's still spectacular. It's still exciting. If we play it at full speed, no one will really talk about whether it was just on the line or not. They'll just say it was spectacular. So when we put it in highlight reels, just not slow it down. Okay. Anything else or stats time?
One thing I kind of did take from this game was kind of Chris Kendall's performance. I kind of, because he's a young referee or a younger referee, and others. I think it was Liam Moore who did our game, who's even younger. But I thought it was quite. I thought he had quite a good game, quite authoritative, especially with the fight at the beginning, because it was fairly early in the game, and he could have quite easily kind of given.
And the game was kind of like 0-0 so at that point, weren't it? It was quite intense and physical at that stage.
And a lot of times with the handbags, you kind of see it's separated.
2-0 to Saints.
And it's a kind of calm down. But he went, no, Matt Pascal running in, Ryan Atkins running in. Yeah, I can't for both of you, and kind of